Hello, good evening.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to our wrestling show.
Yep, yep.
Let me just share
Wrestling
this out.
World. Oh, pop. Oh, God.
Anyway, it was an interesting weekend. We had Clash at the Castle.
Yeah,
Boy,
that
there
was an
was a lot of
interesting.
shit that happened there.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. I have to even go back and hunt it real quick.
Well, I've got it up here as far as their WWE page to tell us the results, so I can kind of refresh my memory.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
But they started out, if I'm not mistaken, that whole thing started out with the I Quit match.
Yes, with Cody and AJ.
And my wife, we were sitting there watching it. And it was kind of funny because she sat there. She's like, I thought this would be the main event. Why are they starting out with this one? And I thought the same thing because that was like a main event caliber match, right? I mean,
Yeah.
all belts were on the line at Clash at the Castle,
Yep.
pretty much, except Logan Paul's. I want
Yeah.
you to take note of that, little fucker. I don't like Logan Paul. I want him to lose that belt. But oh my God, those two tore each other apart.
Yes.
I mean, both of them. I've seen AJ. I don't know about you, but I watched AJ back when he was like in Impact and TNA and what was that other one? Damn it! It was owned by that woman.
That was TNA or whatever.
Dixie Carter. Yeah. Anyway,
with Dixie Carter. Yeah.
So I watched him all this time, and I knew him well enough, and I knew Cody well enough by watching their careers that neither one of them was going to say I quit too easily.
Right.
And I was right. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Interesting ending. I'm not a big fan of that kind of ending. I like a hold slapped on when they submit, but it was a different way. So.
Well, it got Cody the win. I mean, taking and threatening to throw those steel steps like right in his face.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he had him in that turnbuckle, and he was like, "I'm going to throw these right in your face."
Unless and then he hit him with them anyway. So, not a very good guy thing to do.
Yeah, but I was sitting there shouting at Cody, "Do it anyway!" You know, even after he said I quit, do it anyway. You know, AJ would have.
Yeah, but AJ's the bad guy.
Roles were reversed. AJ would have. But it was a good match. I mean, I was shocked it just didn't last longer.
Yeah. They might have had some kind of, I don't know, time frame.
Yeah.
They had to fit it into, for lack of a better term. I don't know.
I'm thinking that something like that, the time constraints made them have to end it quickly at the end there.
Or maybe AJ actually got tweaked up a bit and said, let's, or I don't know. I didn't see anything like that, but, I'm just trying to think, why would it just like.
So what did you think about, all right, let's go on now. I mean, that was a great match. I give them, you got to give the new people in charge time to change things.
Yeah.
Get that
good match. I like that match.
stink off of there.
Yeah.
But I think that was a good match.
Absolutely.
Then we had what was it? The women's tag team title triple threat match.
Yes.
What did you think about them changing the rules?
I don't really know what to think. All
right. Here's what I mean by that. All right. In a normal triple threat tag team match.
Okay.
Remember, you've seen them before.
Yeah.
one wrestler from the two. It starts out with two wrestlers in the ring, and they can tag anybody they want.
Right.
Okay.
And this is,
That's how the old triple threats used to be.
right.
Kind of confusing, kind of fucked up. One team never gets tagged in and they don't even get a chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the rule change that now it starts out with 3 in the ring, 1 from each team.
Definitely better.
And the only way to tag out is by tagging in your own teammate.
I like that a lot better, actually.
And,
now I see what you're saying. I get you.
And I think that made it a lot more of a fair match across the board.
Yeah.
Because
it was like a true triple threat.
Right. And because, like I said, if they kept it the way it was, you know, you just tag in your partner and the other one kept tagging in their partner or whatever, and they never got close to the other corner.
Yeah.
That whole team never got a chance, would have never gotten a chance for the belts.
Right. So, like,
and
yeah. Go ahead.
You know, that was always a possibility. I don't think it ever happened in those past tag team triple threat match.
I watched one the other day. They showed the ending, and I can't remember the tag team. I'm going to make it up. So let's say the New Age Outlaws. And so, like, Road Dogg was in there, and whoever they were fighting thought they'd be smart, and they tagged in Billy. So Road Dogg pinned Billy, and they both just rolled out and had a big old laugh over it. I was like, that's pretty smart, but
yeah. But see, doing it this way, the way they did it with that woman, the tag team titles, I thought it was a smart move on their part. Change the rules. I basically I said it was about fucking time.
So did they take him off then because Jade's not developing like they thought she would, or? Because what's her name's mom died, so they were like, sympathy, here you go for a little bit, or I just don't understand why they would change titles on them right there.
I don't know. I don't think it was meant for them to hold on to him that long anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have liked to see someone else with it.
I think that's underutilizing Jade by having her in a tag team.
Yeah.
So I think that might have been for Bianca Belair's thing to, I don't know, have the tag team titles or something. I don't know. I was kind of shocked it was done there, but then again, not really, because that tag team that won them, that was actually from Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had the momentum in their corner.
Yeah.
And I saw them wrestle in NXT, and they were quite the tag team.
Yeah, they're quite a good tag team.
That's the other thing I was pointing out to my wife too, is as the match was starting, Bianca Belair and Jade really hadn't been a tag team for very long.
Yeah. They still don't seem like they gelled to me ever. They seem like they were always.
And the other two teams that were in there have been tag teams for more than a year.
Yeah.
So they bonded and got that, communications down where, or signals down, and you don't know what they're doing,
Yeah. Think maybe Bianca Jade feud time?
I think that's what it's going to lead to, yeah.
At some point?
I mean, it almost looked like sometime early on, when they were like starting out their tag team, they were kind of outdoing each other.
Yeah, that's what I always thought.
Trying to out showboat each other, you know, or outshine each other, or however you want to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to last long as a tag team.
I didn't either.
So it really didn't shock me too much that they lost the titles, and they gave them to,
Yeah,
the
whatever
team
that team's
from
name
Scotland.
is. Unholy Union, I think it's saying right here. Yeah, whatever their name is. Yeah, but the ones from Scotland.
Yeah, the ones from Scotland.
Yeah.
You know, and then we go. But though they got those belts. Now the question is, can they hold on to them?
Yeah. Yeah. The chase
That's
sometimes
the other
is better
question.
than the defending of it.
It's one thing to win the titles. It's another thing to hold on to them.
Yeah. And WWE really don't do a lot with those women's titles, and I wish they would do more than
Well,
they do.
that leads this right wide open for this here, real quick. And I've said it before, and you check it on Jeremy's show that they do and stuff. I've said it multiple times. They need to create more titles for the women. They need to add 2 more titles. They need to give the women a U.S. title, and they need to give them an Intercontinental title.
Yep. One for each side, just like the men.
Yeah, just like the men. Oh, I mean, their women's division is getting quite stronger. There's more of them than there's ever been in wrestling right now.
Absolutely. And they're not just like objects to something to stare at for 3 minutes.
Right. It's not like they're having bra and panty matches like they did back in the day.
Thank you. I couldn't think of a match even. Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Or they have them wrestling in mud or something, or some stupid shit. Yeah, that too. They did that too. Put a pool up at the top of the ramp, filled it with Jello, and had them wrestle in it. And it was still kind of a bra and panty match. It's like, God damn, this is, and if it wasn't for the likes of Lita, Trish Stratus, and the women from that generation, they would have still been calling it the Divas title.
Yep, they pushed it. They pushed hard to be respected.
And that was all Vince McMahon's bullshit, too.
Mm-hmm.
Calling it the Divas title, because if you look back in history, the Fabulous Moolah and her Mae Young, their title was called a women's title.
Yep. Absolutely, yes.
So that was Vince McMahon's doing, calling it a Divas title and having them go in the bra and panties match. And that's why Sable quit when she was at the height of her career, and after slapping Vince McMahon across and breaking some rules and all that bullshit.
Yeah,
I mean, he treated it doesn't surprise me that he's in court or got charges against him. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Came out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that they've got a younger generation of McMahons running it. Because Stephanie's still there. Oh, and I heard Shane is signed to AEW, speaking of them.
I did hear that. I don't know how true it is yet, but I heard that.
I haven't watched AEW in a while.
Yeah.
But now that I saw that, I'm going to watch and see if there's a repeat of something going on. Last time he did that, next thing you know, his dad owns that company. When he went and did during the WCW, the Monday Night Wars, Vince McMahon all of a sudden said that he owned the company, and but Shane owned it. Either way, it was owned by WWF. So, yeah. And he's been like itching to get back into the wrestling business.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't surprise me either, considering it's in his blood. I mean, he started out as a ring announcer and interviewing wrestlers early on in his career when his dad still owned it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say, worked there from when he was a little kid on up.
Yeah, I mean, so it's in his blood. And the other thing I was watching, and they were talking about who destroyed WCW and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And a few times I got to realizing that Vince Russo was a true asshole.
Yeah.
you know, and basically between him and I used to idolize Hulk Hogan, but after watching all this stuff I've watched, not so much anymore. Did you
Yeah.
realize? Did you know they gave him total creative control of his character when he went over to WCW?
I had heard that. I didn't know. I'd heard
So if
that
he
long time
didn't
ago.
want to lose the belt, he didn't have to.
Right.
You know.
Infamous finger poke of doom.
Yep. Oh yeah, that was all him.
Yep.
That was all him. And yeah, that whole thing was a mess. And I do understand now why a lot of those wrestlers like Jeff Jarrett and stuff truly actually hate Hogan.
Yeah. I mean,
Or not Hogan, Terry Bollea.
yeah, there you go. Yep.
But they call him by his name. They go, I can't stand Terry. They don't even call him Hawk when they say that. You know,
Right.
because you're saying, "Oh, I hate Hawk." Well, that's just his character, not his person.
Yeah.
They're referring to the person.
Yep.
So between him and Vince Russo, I'm thinking between the two of them, they destroyed WCW.
Yep.
That's my point of view. I don't think any one person can take the blame for that.
No. And when Ted Turner sold it to whoever the hell he sold it to, they didn't really like wrestling either as a company.
Oh no, they didn't like it either. They were
So
they
they
were
just looked for reasons to get rid of it.
yeah, they sold it off pretty cheap to Vince McMahon after that.
Yeah, it was real cheap if I remember. I was like, God, I wish I won the lottery this week. I would have tried to buy it.
And the thing is, he didn't even buy all the what was it? He didn't get all the rights right away. He bought it
No.
off in pieces. So he bought it over time. He bought the company off in pieces.
Yeah.
He bought it like a piece at a time. He got the talent, and he got the all the branding, and then he went after all the other stuff that went along with it.
The library.
But if you notice, they're using a lot of that old stuff on NXT, and some of them are using some of that stuff over in AEW, like the War Games.
Yeah. I always liked war games.
Or some of the Bash at the Beach.
Mm-hmm.
That was a WCW thing.
Yep.
But now it's like it's being used again in kind of a new form.
Yeah, it was their answer to SummerSlam at the time.
But then we had this was one of my favorite matches too. I mean, the whole Clash at the Castle was full of excitement. Right. Because you had Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable.
Oof.
And I hate to say this because I kind of grown to like Kurt Angle, but everything Chad Gable was stolen from Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Right down to the shush and excuse, and all of that. Everything. Right?
Oh, yeah.
But if he would have stayed focused on Sami, he might have had a chance to get the Intercontinental title.
Absolutely.
But no, he had to sit there and start bitching at his Alpha Academy down there for not helping him because he can't do it alone. And it backfired. And I was like, yes, when Otis finally snapped on him.
Yes.
And I'm hoping it sticks.
I think it will.
Because, Otis is getting held back. I mean, he learned all he could learn from Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Okay. Otis has been in that stable too long and needs to be a single competitor. And I think once he does, he's going to give people like Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman and all these big guys a run for their money.
Right.
You
I was
know?
reading somewhere today they were talking about some kind of tag with Tozawa, him. I can't remember who else they said, but then against Chad Gable and the Creeds and Ivy Wild.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's who Chad's supposed to go with now is the Creed.
Yeah, well, that's because Chad can't be alone.
Right. I did like him when he was Alpha Academy or whatever they was with Jason Jordan.
Yeah.
I can't remember their name. I liked him then.
You know, but
he's just basically, like you said, though, he's basically taking over Kurt Angle's gimmick now, and it's kind of
he needs a new idea, a new gimmick. They need to reinvent Chad Gable. Yeah. I really think it's getting old. Him just, you know, but it was about time for Otis to snap. I was so happy to see that.
You.
And I hope he sticks with it.
They pointed out he never said I quit or I'm out of your group. Hey, Jeremy. So I think it'll be 1 or 2 more weeks of him being like, no, Chad, and then finally he'll just be like, no, and whatever he does his move, I can't think of what it's called, one of his power moves. So,
but I don't know. I just hope it sticks.
It will. It'll at some point. Did Chad resign? Or I know he was coming up too. So maybe that's why he got the gunshot in the side of the head.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. You know, and then am I forgetting one in here? Or are they not showing?
No, you're doing good so far. We got Sammy and Chad.
I thought there was like 5 matches.
And then Bailey versus Piper, and then Damian versus Drew are the last 2. So yeah,
they're not showing that one.
Yeah, because we did Cody, we did the ladies. We were talking about Chad right now. Then we got Bailey and Piper, and then we got Priest and Drew. So
that was.
Go ahead.
That was a good. Well, here's our answer. Chad has resigned.
Okay, thank you, Jeremy. Okay, I mean that would have been a perfect reason for the bullet shot, like I said. But thank you, Jeremy.
But that was a good fight, though.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole thing was a good fight, but if he would have stayed focused and stopped worrying about what they were doing outside or what they weren't doing on the outside of the ring, he might have had helping him. You know, and that's the thing that costs him. And then he turns around and blames them for his loss. You know, that's. I was like, come on, Otis, just deck him.
Maybe this becomes his new character or something, a whiny little punk bitch. I don't know.
Whiny little bitch, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but, you know, he needs something to separate a little bit from that, like you said, the Kurt Angle thing. Because I do like him, and I like his skills, but like you said, it's just too Kurt Angle-y. And you said that a couple months ago on Jeremy's show, and ever since I'm like, that's so true. I never thought about it till you said it. And
yeah, he's just reminds me too much of Kurt Angle. You know,
if he comes out and they start chanting "You suck," it's over.
I mean, you can take from another character, and still be yourself. But somehow Chad Gable turned into Mini Kurt.
Yep.
You know, in my eyes. I mean, look at Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens took the Stone Cold Stunner and stuff from Steve Austin, but he's not going around there flipping everybody off and drinking beer in the center of the ring either.
Exactly.
He's just using that Stone Cold Stunner thing like Steve Austin, but making it his own.
Yep.
And
Absolutely. That sounds
somehow
good.
Chad Gable wasn't able to do that because everything he does is just too much like Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Yeah. At least you don't use the ankle slam. He does use the ankle lock, but
He does just about every move that Kurt Angle's ever done.
yeah. And I
You
think
know, including the mannerisms.
I think that might have been a Vince thing too. Vince said
Well, it probably was, but you think by now he
Olympics.
would have
There
tried
you
to
go.
reinvent himself in his
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're doing with this whole thing now, pushing him down.
I don't know. It's not working for me at the moment.
Yeah, totally. I get what you're saying.
You know,
We don't have yeah.
but moving on, we got Bailey and Piper Niven.
I think Piper should have won.
That was a slobber knocker. That was a good fight.
And
but
new chef girl, it looked like.
I don't know. I'm glad Bailey retained her title. She deserves to hold on to that for a little longer this time.
She does.
You know?
I just would have liked to see home country thing, win.
And Piper needs to get rid of that dead weight.
Chelsea Green.
Oh God, that whiny little bitch, Chelsea Green.
It's perfect. God. But I liked her so much better when she was in what was it, Impact TNA, when she was the Psycho Bride. I don't know if you saw that, but I loved her as that Psycho Bride.
As long as I don't know. She's
playing the whiny little Karen role right now. So
I don't know why they're doing that. I mean, she's got more talent than that, but making her a whiny little bitch like that is not right. And and she's got to be careful because eventually Piper Niven may come out of her whatever haze she's in and realize that all Chelsea Green is doing is riding her coattails because it's like if she wins, it's our title,
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe Chelsea and Chad can get together and be the whiny little bitches.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, they're made for each other at this point.
Piper and Otis can be their mixed tag partner against them.
And boy, speaking of whiny bitches, that brings us to the next match. Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, he's been a whiny little thing.
I mean, I like Drew McIntyre, don't get me wrong, but this part of his character about him whining and complaining, and blaming everybody but himself.
He does got a point with Punk screwing him over a few times, though. He has made I agreed, Jeremy. Agreed. Sammy's done good work lately.
Oh yeah, he's no, not yet, Jeremy. We're working on it.
We're working on it. We're trying to figure out something.
But back to this one, Sammy has come a long way. I can see him holding on to that Intercontinental title for a while.
I always liked him. And he had the line of the year.
I don't know if he'll break Gunther's record.
No.
But you never know. I mean,
yeah,
Sammy's come a long, long way.
Yeah. His first great match to me that I remember, like being like, oh my God, was against Roman in that cage, like last year or whenever it was. That was the first time I remember going, like, he can go. Before that, it was kind of like, yeah, he's an indie person that can go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now he's raised it another level.
And his whole thing where his character has evolved over time. I mean, when he was coming out with those like communist type characters wearing the
Yeah.
green thing and all of that.
Yep. Then he became an honorary Uso, and
I saw that match. That was a good match. That was a very good match.
Then, well, we'll see. I don't know who they have up for him next. Can't keep going to Chad.
No, I think Chad should go to the back of the line for a while.
Yeah. Him and Otis are gonna fight now. That's their feud.
I think that's gonna happen real soon.
Yeah, I was trying to rack my brain. Dragunov, maybe? I don't know what brand Dragunov's on. But he would be a good match for him.
There's a lot of people. I mean, I could see him going up against Jay, but they won't. They're not going to do Sammy versus Jay because, you know, you got to have a heel versus a face. And right now, Sammy and Jay are both baby faces, as they put it.
Unless you do the ever popular triple threat match. That's the only way that could happen, yeah. But I'd like to see that because Jay to me is more mid range.
Chad and Otis at SummerSlam.
I see that.
Yep. I can see that. There's plenty of time to make that match happen.
Yep.
And get the storyline going.
Like I said, a few more weeks of Gable pushing on Otis until Otis.
I don't think he's going to come out. I think it's just we'll call him out, and there might be another confront where Otis hits him.
Yep. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whenever it happens, at least one more week of build. It's just not over because of what happened Monday. Until Otis will finally have to say "I quit" or "F you" or whatever he's going to say for that to finally be over.
Well, whoever Sammy goes up against next, it's probably going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah, it'll definitely be another quote banger.
Because Sammy has shown that he can really throw down and hold his own.
Yeah, he always can. I kind of get tired of fighting from the underdog, but like just when he can wrestle and go like he did with this match. I get tired when he fights like Braun and Gunther, and he's always like getting beat up for 5/8 of the match, and then all of a sudden, that's just me.
But now we got one more match to cover here before the. Damian Priest and
Drew McIntyre.
You know, the whole thing about McIntyre, though, if he would just kept his mouth shut at the beginning when CM Punk arrived, he might not have problems with CM Punk.
Right.
You know, so again, that's on Damian or on Drew McIntyre.
Right.
You know, for running his mouth. I mean, he was sitting there. He could when he won that title, he could have just walked away and walked out and then exited the ring or walked back into the ring and sat there and celebrated with the title, right?
Yep.
Instead, he had to go over to the announcer desk and sit there and get up and see Punk's face and all of that. CM Punk sees Damian Priest coming, so he clips the leg and drops him.
Yep.
So he lost the title. He had it all but 5 minutes that day?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I guess you can say he won it finally in front of people.
Right. He won it in front of people finally, but still, if he would have just walked away,
I know,
he
like
might
his
have
own
had
fault.
the title longer.
Yeah, exactly. Totally his own fault. And then, you know, of course, this Sunday, Punk kind of screwed him with the count. Well, 1, 2, nope, I'm not going to count. And then getting kicked in the nuts for it.
Well, Punk made it clear after that happened, though, too, that there was an interview that as long as there's a breath in him,
Drew won't hold the
McIntyre's
title.
not going to hold the title.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see the interview, but I did hear him talking about it.
Yeah. So, I mean,
so that's why
he would have had. He definitely. Damian Priest ought to feel lucky that he's still champion.
He should be lucky he's walking after that botch too.
Because if it wasn't for the ref getting knocked out, and put aside there, Drew would have walked out with the title.
Yeah.
Because he had him there for a good 10 count.
Yeah, they counted too, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, the audience counted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Punk came out and
so I'll give it to McIntyre. Yes, he was robbed of the title. But on the other aspect, it's still his own damn fault.
Yep.
For running his mouth to the wrong person.
Right. So now we got a stable of whiny bitches now, right?
Well, maybe that's going to be a new stable name.
Right. We got 3 of them now.
I'm getting to the point where I'm going to maybe start watching more of AEW because, there's a lot of wrestlers over there that I miss seeing, like Sasha.
Yeah.
Who's now going as Mercedes Monet or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Tom. Yeah. Yeah, she does. She's put on some good matches there. Despite what people want to talk about.
Did you get my message, Tom? I spent the day down. I got me a whole shit ton new maps for Golf It.
Oh, for golf. Okay. That's what I thought you were talking about. Nice. That'll keep you guys busy.
Yeah.
I still need to get a new mouse so I can play with you guys proper.
So, anyway, I like Drew McIntyre. He's got a lot of talent. But this whining has got to stop. I mean, his one thing just went on a little too long. Yeah. And I understand. I totally get it. I understand. He carried the company during the COVID, and he won the title with no crowd and no cheering and all of that. And it took all of the winning of the title away from him. The meaning of it, right?
Yep.
So I understand that. But to continue it for as long as he did, because he kept he'd get the title opportunity and he'd fuck it up. Or he'd screw it up. He'd make a mistake or he wouldn't win because the other wrestler, keep trying, they all do it. I mean, look how long it took some of them. Look how long it took Michaels to win the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was about to say. That's the exact name I was about to say.
Shawn Michaels got in that championship. He won that title and he got down on his knees in the middle of that ring. Mm-hmm. All right. And he started crying.
Yep.
Literally, because he did it, and and it was his goal to do it before he got 35, and he was 35, I think, when he won the title.
I think so.
So, I mean, yeah, that it was. I mean, Damian, I always thought, Damian was another one. When I saw Damian over in NXT running there, he reminded me a lot of like Randy Orton. He was going to go a long way.
Yeah.
and be a future Hall of Famer. All right,
I,
that's it. I guarantee it. Damian will be a future Hall of Famer. But the thing is, he needs to dump all the dead weight. I mean, he proved it back in NXT. He can handle himself all by himself.
yeah.
He proved it when he got here to begin with.
Yep. I
You
first
know?
saw him in Ring of Honor, and he was Priest Martinez. Did a lot of cool. Did some
Yeah, it
flippy
was.
stuff.
Yeah, it
And
was. We'll have to do that soon before we forget about it.
Birdie.
So just remember, though, that's the one we can't stream while we're doing it. We might get banned.
Really? Is it that X-rated or?
I think that's the map he was talking about.
Nice.
Because we were playing it after we went offline, stopped streaming, and then I started feeling kind of the heat in this room if the door gets closed.
Yeah.
Because we just got one of those like wall air conditioners, that's
Yeah.
built into the wall. So if the door gets closed to the office, it gets very warm in here. And because I've had heat stroke or whatever that is in the past,
Yes. Yes. You're more.
I'm very
Susceptible.
to the heat.
There you go.
You
Yep.
know, so I'm real careful where if it's going to be a really hot day outside, like over 80 plus,
Yeah.
I make sure if I'm going to take the puppy out for a W, and I'm not going to say the word because she's right below me here.
Good. Yeah, mine will get excited too if they hear it. So
I do it early in the morning when it's still like 60, high 60s, low 70s.
yes.
What do you want?
Actually, the last couple mornings, it's been like 76 when I go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Like I said, air's been on for the last 3 days. I only turned it off when it took a shower, and so I didn't get cold or chilled, and then I turned it back on. But yeah, I'll give McIntyre, back to the wrestling. I'll give McIntyre the thing. He did get screwed over.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But it wasn't because so much of the Judgment Day. Damian, I knew Damian could hold his own against somebody like McIntyre. I mean, a great match would have been like a really cool match, but it could never happen because the Undertaker's not in his prime anymore.
Right.
But think about it. If the Undertaker was in his prime, or if it was 20 years ago and he was 20 years younger or whatever, and got in the ring with Damian Priest, what a hell of a match that would have been.
That'd be a great match. Fantasy booking, that'd be awesome. That'd be an awesome match.
Oh yeah.
You can do it on your video game.
Yeah, I know. I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm still I played around with the GM mode a little bit. And then
That's fun.
screwed
That's
up,
weird.
so I backed out and had to start over, and it's like, screw that. But I've been working on the thing with the cards.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I really like that. I just wish that they would make. I should go into the community place one of these days and see if somebody created it or not, or somehow it became available or something. Cody's dog.
Pharaoh.
You can have, if you find the card or use one of the locker codes, if it's not expired yet, on the game, and you get Pharaoh for your My Faction as a manager.
Cool.
So, and Pharaoh, you don't know, Barrow's a Siberian Husky,
Yeah.
a purebred white Siberian Husky, kind of like my Joy, my Timber Joy. That's what she
Aw.
is.
Oh, cool.
But she's not pure white anymore. She was white with a tiny little black stripe on her back when we first got her, and that black stripe grew, know, over time. So
As she got older. Yep.
yeah, but
She's got a light gray max.
I think it's going to be a while before they. I mean, McIntyre. Between McIntyre and Priest, either one of them could have kind of held the company up.
Yeah.
Like Seth Rollins did. When he had the belt, the reason he had it so long is because he brought in the money.
Yep.
And
he can go with anybody.
Well, I still, I don't like what he did because I really liked the Shield, and I wish it would have lasted a lot longer than it did.
Yep.
But at the same time, I started liking him after a while, but at the same time, I lost respect for him. It's like, what the hell is with the bitch pun?
Nice.
He got this bitch pun all the time. And then,
he's Becky's
you could have just I got long hair. There's nothing wrong with the guy having long hair, okay?
Nope.
It's he put it up in a bitch pun, okay? When he should have just and then he's raiding his wife's closet a lot. He must have some kind of fetish. I'm wondering if he wears the bra and the underwear as well when he raids her closet.
And he's got a match with Priest now too. A rematch, if you will.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's back so quickly.
I know. I thought he was going to take more time.
Well, I thought that's why Becky Lynch wasn't signing again.
Yeah.
But it's also rumored that she's headed for AEW.
Rebecca
But
Queen.
I kind of find that hard to believe as well. Because, he should have. I mean, Randy's proven that. I mean, he came back too quick, and every time Randy gets hit on the back or thrown on the back just right, he's really hurting.
Yeah.
Oops.
I agree, Jeremy. That was about when I was too.
I wasn't expecting him back so soon.
If they get medically cleared to come back, there's,
I know.
It's like there's football. Nothing they can do if they get medically
I know,
cleared.
it's like the football
if they
players.
Get medically cleared, they have to be back.
I know, they're addicted to the sport, and they're fame junkies.
Maybe Priest is just going to beat the crap out of him and put him out till the Rumble.
Well, I thought he would have won out, and because he's had this bad back for years.
Yeah.
Okay, so when he had to have surgery on, what was it, the knee or the leg or something that he injured the most recently that he got surgery on, that's why he was out. I would have thought he would have at least taken time out and got his back fixed.
Yeah. Have to see what he does or how he moves. I don't count this time because he's fresh.
Maybe they were getting into arguments of who wore her clothes better, her or him.
Where are my panties at, Seth? I'm wearing them again. Damn it.
She got
you got my high heels on too.
She got pissed because he was wearing clothes before she even got a chance to wear them. Oops.
She'd order them and they'd come in the mail and he'd open them first. And be like, Amazon's.
I believe that because it does. It looks so much like he's raiding her closet.
It does.
But we all know that their costumes are made by, costume designers backstage.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they got total control, some control, or whatever over what they wear to the ring.
Yeah, he might have more because he's such a big name.
Well, yeah, he gets. I'm sure he gets extra perks for drawing in as much money as he does. His merchandise. That's why. That's why. That's why when you had Roman over here on SmackDown and you had him over here on Monday Night Raw. That's why they weren't going to put them to face each other anytime too soon, because they were the two big money makers on the two different shows. They drew in the crowds.
Right.
So, but they need to stop doing this bullshit that they're doing, because I still remember, and I like Roman Reigns as a person, but I don't like his character so much, because son of a bitch started out bitching about Brock Lesnar not defending the title so often, and he ended up doing the same fucking thing Brock Lesnar did.
Yep. But hey, he had it written into his contract to do that.
Well, they both did, but I'm just saying that, I understand. I may understand why,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but we found out that his leukemia wasn't the exact same as mine. It's chronic.
Which means it's always going to come back.
So there's no cure for his type of leukemia.
Right.
So that means at any given point, he could have been getting treatments at some point. That's why he may not, he was supposed to come back.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been back.
He was supposed to be back for this Clash at the Castle thing. And he delayed that. I don't know if that was because he's the filming delay or if he's getting treatment still.
Right.
And he's not ready to come back.
Yeah. He might have just got figured out.
There's no cure for his type of leukemia.
Right.
They can, it just goes into remission for a while. Yeah, that may be so, but sometimes he might need to go in for radiation or some kind of IV chemo.
Yeah.
But he's been filming a movie. That's also why he's been away.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's filming a movie or two. So he filming could have went over, how they do. They go over budget, over the time limit, over. So, hey, I'm not ready to come back because we're not done filming yet.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
And then even after that, he might have to go out. Well, he might come back for a little while, and then he's going to have to take time off again and go out and promote the movie when it's ready to be released.
Mm-hmm.
So he might as well just take his time.
Exactly.
So
exactly. I mean, we don't know. We don't know the reasons, but we can only speculate.
Yeah. But when it comes back, I'm expecting a civil war.
He's going to be the good guy. He's going to be the baby face.
Yeah, they're going to switch. They're going to switch him back.
He could either be. He's in two movies right now.
Action
Force and Good Fortune. Action Force is in pre-production, and Good Fortune is in post-production.
There you go.
So, see, they're not done. He's not done yet.
He just finished one and he's jumping to the next one.
Oh, it's keeping him busy.
Exactly.
And then anyway, now let's get back to, I'm not going to talk too much because we got too much time left here. But for Monday Night Raw, man, the way that ended, I knew it
That
was
was-
coming. Everybody knew it was coming because the code said the deadline was going to end before Monday Night Raw was over with.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. That was
And-
good.
And I gotta say, man, I was expecting a little bit more, but it was worth the wait. I mean, they did so good. Uncle Howdy comes. I mean, when you had Nikki Cross come out like she did,
Crawling out all.
they could. I mean, think about the way she acted as a psychopath, saying Nikki wants to play. She
Yep.
fit that role perfectly. So she's Abby the Witch. Okay. Then now I got to get these right because I don't know their names. The other two.
Huskus the Pig. That's Joe Gacy, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong on that one. It could be
Right.
Dexter.
Right. And then Dexter Loomis is the other one. So you got Huskus the Pig and the Raven. And
Yeah.
and it's Dexter Loomis and
Joe
Joe
Gacy.
Gacy. Right. So that's those two. And then you got Eric Rowan as the rabbit. And he's
The
sitting
hammer.
there holding the sledgehammer that says help on it. That's kind of a way that he decided to honor the Bludgeon Brothers and his fallen friend Luke Harper.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I always
So-
liked him.
And then, of course, you've got Bray Wyatt's brother, Bo Dallas, portraying Uncle Howdy.
Yep.
And they come out, they pick up the lantern, and the lantern's their way of having Bray Wyatt still with them.
We're here.
And yeah, and then it just went black, and Raw was over.
Yep.
That was cool.
It reminded me of like how we're always talking on the Fear fans too, how like you don't see like what happens, you just see the aftermath. So
But-
same kind of thing there. You just saw everyone laid out. You saw Chad with the gunshot.
Yeah, and you saw Chad, and it looked like a gunshot through his head.
Yeah.
Even though we all know it wasn't. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
All right. And then
Maybe
you
it was a
had-
hammer.
And then apparently, from what I read, Triple H and the Raw general manager
Yeah.
was part of those bodies down there too.
Yeah. Somebody
That's
said Braun
crazy.
was one of them too, but I didn't
There
look
was,
close
there
enough.
it was hard to see with the lights and the darkness, and
Absolutely.
I mean, they did such a great job, you know, but here's my small problem with this. Okay. You have two people that are missing. Okay. And they're still around. One, Alexa Bliss was doing like the Sister Abigail thing. Okay.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for Bray Wyatt, Alexa Bliss's career might have fizzled out because the Harley Quinn thing was getting kind of old. All right. Two, what about Braun Strowman?
Yeah.
You know, he said in an interview, and I watched it, it was not like something that was written. I watched a actual video interview about him talking about coming back and wanting to do something to pay tribute to, you know, Bray
Yeah.
Wyatt.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was very adamant about that. But then again, maybe his little, you know, but that was always his thing, you know, not liking bullies and helping the little guy. And, you know, everybody said Bray Wyatt was so helpful, you know, behind the scenes to their
Right.
career. So maybe he's trying to do it that way. I don't know.
Maybe Braun will come out dressed like Bray Wyatt in the little sweater. And that'd be
I
great
don't
to
know.
see like a 7-foot giant coming out like that.
I don't know. I just hope that somehow they bring Alexa and Braun into it somehow, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
But
Well,
I really did like what I seen.
well, and the way they spelled six was SICKS, like sicko, sick, I'm sick. So technically there's not a
Right. They don't
there's not a number limit to it.
Right. There's not a number limit to it.
So you don't got to be like, oh, there's only got to be 6. Well, no, that's not how they spelt it. So you could have 7, 8, 10. Now that'd get too many. That'd get NWO-y.
Oh, there's only right, but there's just 2 that are missing.
Yeah, there's only 2 that are technically missing.
And that's all they need. They don't need no more than that.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's all they ever had, huh? I mean, I'm trying to think if it was in the original group, but Luke Harper has passed away.
The original group was Luke Harper,
Bray,
Wyatt, Braun Strowman,
and the Red Eric.
and Eric Rowan. And then Uncle Howdy was always played by his brother, Bo Dallas. And the whole thing was, they were good, they, so the reason it took so long is, this is very emotional for Bo.
Yeah.
Bo
Totally.
was really.
I mean, he's carrying along his brother's tradition.
Yeah, Braun came in later, I know, but still, he was part of the,
Yeah, we're talking the original sort of.
But the whole thing with that was he was going to get to really, it was just starting for him to really work with his brother again. And do it in the WWE this time instead of some other unknown federation when they worked as a tag team back, when.
Right?
Yeah.
I forgot Randy Orton was part of him for a while.
That's true.
Randy teamed up with him I forgot. I was looking at it just now. I forgot Randy teamed with him.
The original 3
yeah, that's
tearing up when Braun came in. Holy shit. Yeah, it was holy shit.
Absolutely. I mean, Braun was a big boy, especially
he still is.
And he still is, but I mean, there's a lot of tall ones now, but at that time, he kind of stood out.
So, the next thing that's coming up is what's coming up? SummerSlam, right?
Yeah, I think so. SummerSlam's the next pay-per-view. Well, we got SmackDown in Chicago coming up Fridays. CM Punk's supposed to be there.
Well, that's backyard.
Yeah. So speculation that I've been hearing is Drew's going to go there and screw him out of a Money in the Bank thing. And Daniel Bryan. That's right. I remember Daniel Bryan in the Michael Myers jumpsuit.
Yeah,
so that's the speculation I've been hearing.
Yeah, those are and then some of those matches that Bray created or somehow they created where they were on Wyatt's property or Bray's property or out in the swamp or something. I mean, that shit was kind of like, wow, really?
Yeah. I was just watching older Matt Hardy used to do that, the Hardy compound too. So I was watching those earlier. Those are funny because they have the Lake of Reincarnation. Anyway, they've all done something like that and did a lot of it during. And when he fought John Cena in that weird match, I think it was WrestleMania or SummerSlam, one of those. He fought John Cena and it was just going through the funhouse and.
Yeah, and boy, those fireflies were really there too.
Yeah.
During them showing up, all of a sudden the light goes out, and it's like, wow.
See, and people are saying Jimmy Uso or Jay, whichever one's on Raw. Who's on Raw? Jay?
Jay Uso.
Because he does the fireflies now. They're saying maybe that's their first real victim because he does the firefly thing.
Yeah, he's like, they can have it. I don't want no part of it and no part of them. Yep.
That would
Yeah,
straight be me. That would be me. You got it
yeah,
back.
but because of that whole interview, though,
And then Jay interviewed afterwards or at the end.
right, that whole interview, and then the family's back. That mean I got to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to be their first victim. One of their, he probably might have been a victim of that backstage thing already. But I mean, he's the first one they start calling out or something.
Yeah. They did an interview with him after the show, like on social media, and he was talking. Oh, they're back. I better watch out. Better be careful. You better be careful too. The Wyatt family's around here. So I think he's going to get jumped, maybe not jumped, and then brother might come out and try and rescue him. Won't happen.
We'll see. Yeah, that could be a way to put the brothers back together.
Yeah.
As well as Jimmy comes to rescue Jay because of the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
The new Wyatt family.
Yeah, and obviously, there's 5 of them, 4 of them. Okay, we don't. Nikki don't get involved. Well, still 4 on 2.
I don't know. Nikki's been crazy enough to get involved, but yet now look at, you got to realize, now that this is for entertainment, purposes. How they had the Undertaker do some of those, like raise the lights and all of this as if it was magic. Just keep in mind, she's supposed to be Abby the Witch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So God only knows what we could see out of Nikki Cross.
Right. And everyone keeps saying, let's just clear this up. Everyone keeps saying Sister Abigail. Sister Abigail was never one of the puppets. It was always Abby the Witch.
Right.
So that's why we keep saying Abby.
Yes, she's Abby the Witch. Because all those characters right there are from the Firefly Funhouse puppets.
Yeah.
You've got the pig, the raven, the rabbit, and Abby.
Yeah. And that's why we don't say she's Sister Abigail. And that makes sense. Because Joey said that, I think, last night or 2 nights ago to me on another site. And that made perfect sense. I didn't think about it till you said that. And that makes perfect sense.
Right. Well, I was looking it up then. And second, you got to realize, the one that everybody referred to as Sister Abigail at one point was, I can't even think of her name. Yeah, Alexa Bliss.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty out there. I don't know if you've ever seen an AEW Abaddon.
All I know is that
she could be a perfect Sister Abigail. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but that's not right. See, because they don't,
Yeah, no, I'm just saying her look and everything. I don't mean in terms of storyline or nothing. But.
So all I'm saying is that the 2 that are missing, that Bray Wyatt had a big influence on their careers.
Yep.
Is Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman.
Yep. And Braun could just come with his sheep mask again. Don't have to be a character, just come with his sheep mask and be the stand in the back, I'm the badass.
It could be that, somehow Alexa may not be ready to come back yet.
I read they offered it to her and she said she wasn't ready to come back quite yet.
And then the other thing is they could do some kind of wacky spell on Braun Strowman to draw him over to their side.
Right. And that's why it was weird to me when people were saying he was one of the ones laid out. I thought he was supposed to be. But, knock him out, drag him to your little hut in the swamp. And
who knows?
We'll have to Abby the Witch do her thing. And, right. And then we'll have to see how they wrestle. I hope they actually, they're not the supernatural, no matter what you do to me I'm not hurt. I'll just walk through. I hope they actually like you chop them and they kind of go like ow when they actually finally get in the ring.
Yeah, he's gonna be the one to watch. That Dexter Loomis.
I always liked him. Which one is he? I can't remember if he's the Raven or the Pig, but it's Joe
I don't
Gacy
know
and
which
him.
one it is. All I know is I know what he looks like without all that shit, you know,
Yeah,
because that guy had like that crazy look on his face and that
had the
cold
short
stare.
haircut.
That cold stare. I mean, he could go far.
Yeah. He was good. I always liked him, even when he was
Very
again in
little
Impact.
body fat. You know, I mean, that guy was like all muscle.
Who?
Oh,
Oh, there we go. Knocked off for a second. And what happened Tuesday? NXT? Anything? They brought in some TNA people again on NXT last night.
yeah.
For the
I
Battle
mean,
Royal.
see how that goes. I don't know if they're ever gonna do a lot of crossovers or not.
Yeah,
Oh,
they had
it's a
one last
buzzard.
night.
So it's not a raven, it's a buzzard. That's right. It's a buzzard.
Okay, buzzard.
That's what
Yeah, Buzzy's a buzzard.
he's got that bird looking thing in it. Every time I see the mask, I think Raven. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but
Same.
it's a
Joe.
buzzard.
Same. Buzzy's a buzzard. Abby's a witch. Heskus the pig, which is Joe Gacy. And Eric Rowan is the bunny. And Bo is Uncle Howdy Doody.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate we'll never get to see Ray and Uncle Howdy work together.
They were talking, and this would be cool, totally onto another subject, but AJ going over to TNA for a match, since that's kind of where he came from originally. And
AJ's been all over.
Yeah, but I mean, he got his start basically in TNA.
I mean, that's another one. That's another one that shouldn't bitch because he didn't, you know, he failed at getting his chance for his title or whatever.
I like him a lot.
You know, but if you look at the guy's resume, actually look on the internet and look him up and look at all the titles he's held across all the different federations. And it's like, my God.
It's amazing. Him and Randy are probably my two favorite wrestlers of all time right now.
Well, Randy, I knew was gonna be a superstar.
I like Randy from day one.
I said it the minute he showed up. I said, this guy, I said within a year, he's gonna bypass his father's legacy.
Yep.
And he did.
He got a little bit hurt, and that was about it. Well, I mean, in the beginning when he first popped up, you heard his shoulder.
He's also nobody's flunky either. Like, I mean, how long did Cowboy Bob Orton go around following Roddy Piper with a cast on his arm?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
look at these stupid ones. 1, 2, 3. I'm just counting all the titles he's held for.
He's held quite a few titles.
"27 titles he's held. Major titles he's held. AJ. I didn't count the little promotions that like Family Fun Time Wrestling or whatever the hell it was called. And
yeah, but still. Like all right, so still, and then that means he's won more titles than that, but still, out of all those major promotion titles, that's still quite a bit of titles.
Right, and then I'd count like the NW Heavyweight once. You know, I just counted as a title he held, but he held it 3 times. So.
Right, and he held the tag team titles with, you know, several different times with several different people.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I was just counting the amount of titles.
Over several different federations that he had tag team titles. And it's like, you know, and then you got all those, I mean, the guy's amazing. He's phenomenal. He's proven that time and time again.
Quite literally phenomenal.
But I guess he had turned to being an ass just so he could face Cody.
Yeah, well, somebody had to be the bad guy there.
Yeah.
He's 47 too, so
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean shit nowadays because, you know, it's all acting.
yeah, he's probably winding down though.
Because
Just
look
because-
how long Ric Flair was wrestling.
Yeah, just because of AJ Styles is the only reason I'm saying that. If he wrestled Styles,
I
he'd
think
probably go till.
I'm gonna leave this. We're gonna call this one here because we're running over.
Oh,
But
I'm sorry, my bad, dude, my bad.
I'm gonna leave this so that I'm gonna leave you all with a bad picture. You know, speaking
Oh,
of
God.
Ric Flair, man, the last few times he should have been wrestling, the son of a bitch should have been wearing a man bra or something.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gotten some, you know, because he stopped working out, it goes all flabby,
yep.
you know, and then when he does his chops, they start to wiggle.
Yes.
I mean, there was some X-rated TV going on that shouldn't have been going on back in the days that he was in the ring.
Flare hub.
Well, I think some of them should just go out with a little bit more dignity than Ric Flair did.
Yeah.
I mean, some of that stuff was just ridiculous, and to be in the ring at that age, he should no.
Yeah.
You know, he was in no shape anymore.
No.
But all right, till next week, people. We'll talk to you later.
Have a good one, everybody.
Remember, anything's possible.
Yep.
Almost hit the
Absolutely.
wrong button.